Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Chris Hammond, Hammond Wealth Advisory, where we help out people that are getting close to retirement, maybe 10 years away from it, or maybe they're already retired. And one of the ways that we do that is really through the practice of financial planning. So today's topic is pretty important. It's what exactly is financial planning? When you go to the grocery store, you buy groceries, you know what you're getting. When you go to the gas station, you get gas, you know what you're getting. But when it comes to things that are a little more intangible, like financial planning, a lot of times there's confusion over what exactly it is. So we're going to jump in and break down what that is today. And also keep in mind, when we go through this, don't get caught up too much on all the different details that are involved in this. But I'm going to actually show you toward the end of the video what you need to be thinking about when it comes to financial planning and really like what you're looking for. So let's dive into this. So let's just start out with a definition. So I found this definition on the internet. I believe it was smartasset.com had written this article. And it says financial planning is the process of taking a comprehensive look at your financial situation and building a specific financial plan to reach your goals. As a result, financial planning often delves into multiple areas of finance, including investing, taxes, savings, retirement, your estate planning, insurance, and more. So that is like really broad. So we want to bring this in a little bit because that's when the definition includes everything, then it also includes nothing at the same time. So let's start off with who does financial planning. It could be an investment advisor. These are the people that are guiding you on what types of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, things like that to buy, and they'll oftentimes be providing planning along with that advice. Brokers, these are the people it's not as popular nowadays. These are the people that be like calling you up out of the blue and saying, I've got this new hot stock. Maybe you need to buy this. And they are literally the broker that does that. And they may also do financial planning too. Insurance agents, because insurance is a risk management thing. And that's also going to be involved as a portion of financial planning. Think about like health insurance. You are managing the risk of catastrophic loss, and you will give a premium every month to an insurance company to take care of that. Or insurance for life insurance. You are handling this by paying a premium and putting that risk onto an insurance company that should you pass away, it's not a catastrophe for your survivors, like your spouse or your kids, things like that. Also can be used in estate planning, which we'll talk about here in a minute, as far as tax-free passing on of wealth to the next generation. Then you might have this other thing called financial coaches, and maybe they're not as regulated as much as like investment advisors, which have a fiduciary responsibility, or brokers, which have testing that has to be passed, or insurance agents that are licensed at the state level. You may have things like financial coaches that you just pay, and they help coach you in your financial life. So that's kind of who does financial planning. The different types of financial planning out there, there's things like investment management. This is making sure that you're investing properly, not making any bad mistakes as far as what you choose to, what vehicles you're using to invest your money in. This could involve the types of equities and bonds to pick, as well as the allocation percentages, depending on how risk averse or risk tolerant you are. All that's just lingo for saying if you're comfortable taking more risk in your portfolio, maybe you need to have more equities in it. If you need more growth to reach your retirement goals, well, that kind of actually falls under retirement planning, but how it overlaps with investment management, that might mean that you got to take more risk to reach those goals as well. Then you have tax planning. That's and I'm going to do another video about that one specifically, but just kind of in a nutshell, it's trying to help you to pay as little tax as possible using the legal structures and following all the rules that the IRS outlines, so that you are obeying every law, but also structuring it in a way where you are not leaving Uncle Sam a tip. Estate planning is really important. That's about making sure that the wealth that you've worked on and built up all your life is going to be used properly by being passed on to, let's say just like your kids. It's going to go to them. You want to make sure that it gets passed to them in a way that is going to be a blessing to them, instead of something where, something could go wrong, and maybe you have one kid that can't handle getting a lump sum. They might snort it all up their nose or go on a bender or something like that, and your wealth could actually be used as something that would destroy their life. All right, so estate planning is helping you to not do that, which is really important. You save money your whole life. You don't want to drop the ball at the end. Retirement planning, there's a lot that goes under retirement planning. I'm going to jump into that a little deeper here before we're done today. And it goes into a lot of things about making sure that you are reaching your financial goals, making sure that you're investing it properly in retirement, making sure that you have the income that you need coming in from your portfolio, doing things like Social Security planning, making sure that you're choosing the right time for you. And if you're married, your spouse, the decision becomes even more important because there's going to be survivor Social Security benefits for a spouse, for instance. Philanthropic planning is finding the best way to philanthropically give your money to charity, right? That's what that is. Insurance planning, making sure that you're mitigating. Mitigating is just a way of saying that you're making sure that you're reducing the risk of certain catastrophic things that could potentially happen to you. Buying homeowners insurance, having your house insured is mitigating against if a fire were to burn the house down. You probably don't have $300,000 just sitting around that you'd want to use to build back the house. You'd get insurance for that. And then budgeting, super important, especially with retirement planning. Budgeting, making sure you know before you retire, how much money do I need to live on? How much income every month do I need coming in? When it comes to types of planning, really the big thing is, what are you looking for? So if you are looking for retirement planning help, then you'll want to look specifically for a financial advisor that does that type of planning. If you're looking for tax planning, and again, these things really do overlap a lot, because when it comes to your overall picture, you're going to want to look at a lot of these at the same time. I'll just go over the 5 pillars of comprehensive retirement planning. So we'll just pick one of those out. I picked this one because this is actually my niche of people that I help out. So the 5 pillars of that would be investment planning, retirement income planning, tax planning, insurance planning, and estate planning. So investment planning is making sure that you're not investing in a way that is going to just bring up the temptation for you to blow up your portfolio the next time the market goes down. We have like another investing year like 2022. Investment planning is making sure that you have the right allocation of stocks, bonds. Maybe you have some non-market risk assets that you're going to use as well in different accounts to help conservatively grow your money. Retirement income planning, that's going to involve things like looking at your pension plan options if you have that at work, looking at how your Social Security benefits could be different, and if you're married, which spouse needs to delay Social Security later if either one of you do. All right. So retirement income planning is going to look at that, and also look at that in relation when it gets to budgeting, but look at it in relation to say, if your income is here and your expenses are here, you have to figure out a way that you're going to meet those other expenses, probably from withdrawals from your investment portfolio, which means under the investment planning, it has to also be structured right. Tax planning, when it comes to retirement planning, one of the big things with tax planning is to know when it does and when it doesn't make sense to make a Roth IRA conversion, for example. Also to look at things like avoiding the IRMA tax. That's, if you don't know what that is, I've probably done some videos on it, in the past. If not, I'll make sure to do in the future. But that's where you end up having too much income and then end up paying more on your Medicare Part B premium and your Medicare Part D premium that you pay as well. So that's another thing that you have to look for on that. Insurance planning, when it comes to retirement, that's going to involve a lot of things like your health insurance. You don't want to be in a situation where you retire before you get on Medicare, and maybe you're getting some big subsidies from the Affordable Care Act health insurance, and then you do something where your income goes up, maybe like a big Roth conversion that you didn't realize was going to boost up your taxable income, and suddenly all those subsidies that you were getting on that Affordable Care Act health insurance, suddenly those may go to be diminished, or they may completely go away altogether. which is a big deal. We all know that the Affordable Care Act has unfortunately made health insurance quite unaffordable. So the only saving grace to it is that you get these subsidies that go in to help offset the higher price that it did for that. That was one of the downsides of it. So that would be one thing with insurance planning, and also that also kind of relates to income planning and tax planning because it could reduce your subsidy. Also with insurance planning, it may involve using life insurance strategically for a long-term care benefit, where they actually combo the benefit up, where if you need long-term care, they'll actually pull it from the death benefit while you're still alive. You don't have to die, in other words, to use it. They call that a living benefit. And then estate planning, that's one of the things where you need to at least have the guidance on knowing what to do. Most financial advisors, myself included, we're not actually out there writing up wills, writing up a power of attorney, all that kind of stuff, but understanding how that works, or even creating like trust documents. That's something that an attorney would do, but it's good to have somebody that can guide you on saying, if you're wanting your money to go this way to the next generation and how you want that to happen. It's good to understand financial planning and have guidance on that as well. So that's really, a good way to think about what exactly is financial planning. Think about what it is that you need from your needs as far as your financial situation. If you're getting close to retirement, maybe one of the big needs that you have is understanding what level of savings do I need to hit that will be able to support X amount of income that will supplement my Social Security so that I can cover my expenses, and do that in a way that it's going to last me for the next 20, 30 years, for example. If that's something that you needed, then retirement planning would be something that you look at. And inside that's going to include things like tax planning, ways to minimize the tax, because the less tax you pay in the long term, that's the more money that you get to keep for yourself. It's more money that you get to pass on to the kids as well. And if you need some additional help, kind of a good place to start when it comes to retirement planning, just head on over to my website, retirementplanningmadeeasy.com. You can download a free copy of my step-by-step retirement guide. It's really helpful when it comes to things like line iteming, laying out what your income sources are going to be in retirement in relation to your expenses, so that you can figure out if there's a gap. And by gap, I mean, what if your expenses are bigger than what your Social Security and pension is, and what are you going to do about that? So it's a good starting point to help you out with that. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.